Welcome back to another Warframe video. So today I want to talk about the fight between Excalibur and Raiden on Deathbattle. This is me giving my thoughts and opinion on Excalibur and the Warframe side of things. I would like to do a total review of both characters, but the truth is I barely know anything about Raiden other than a few cutscenes here and there. Before I begin here, I want to say as soon as I heard Excalibur was going to be facing off against Raiden, I initially thought Excalibur was going to win that fight. But someone managed to convince me that excal would actually lose, and I agreed. And that's one of the things I want to speak to in this video here. So Raiden has a lot of flashy cutscenes, like they are very impressive. On the other hand, excal had some feats in his cutscenes, but pretty meh. Like, it isn't until you go and read the Warframe lore that you start seeing most of the feats from the Warframe, from the Tenno, from Excalibur, and the other Warframes alike. Alright, one of the things that gave Excal his W was his versatility and his access to weapons. As soon as I saw this, my initial reaction was no. Yes, they do have access to over 500 weapons, but the thing is, before each mission, they can only choose one of each type of weapon. But if you go the route of, say, okay, what it is they do when they call down the arc wings or the max, we're gonna get to that in a second. If you go down that route, then you'd actually see that, okay, yes, they technically, I guess, could access each of these over 500 weapons anytime they wanted to. It's just that in-game in mission you can't access another type of primary or secondary or melee. But I mean, so that's the technicality in there, right? So they could call down a mech from space or call down an arc gun even while in the mission inside the building, and it would land in their palm. So I guess you could go either way on that one. I just wanted to call that out on this video right now. At first, I was disappointed that Excalibur didn't get to use the Void Rig mech against Raiden. The Void Rig's Iron Skin and its ult, it does a lot of damage. But then the mobility of the mechs would have been a problem. Mechs can travel pretty fast with their thrusters, but the thing is, they can't maneuver that easily. Warframes are definitely more agile than mechs in that regard. Yes, I was disappointed that Excalibur didn't use a mech, but mechs are significantly weaker than Warframes in some areas. If you think mechs should have been used in that fight, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd like to know what you guys think on it. So this is still with the assumption that Excalibur is going to have instant access to all of his inventory. If you think about it, it's pretty crazy. So we're looking at Shade with its invisibility, we're looking at a Dazzle Cravat with its quick chance, we're looking at Smeared Cravat, we're looking at the Jane, we're looking at Death Cube, and so many other Sentinel weapons like Cryotra and attacks that could be really good utility in that fight. Still on the topic of accessing every single item in Excal's inventory. So let's talk about arc wings here for a second. So we're looking at the likes of the Amnesia to avoid damage and all the stuff, replenish energy, health, and also the Itzal. So check this out for a second here. So let's say he calls out the Itzal. He goes way up into space and he starts using Itzal's pull to actually pull Raiden towards outer space. I don't know if Raiden can breathe in space. Someone let me know down in the comment section. But let's say that happens, and the Itzal is also slowing down Raiden's movement, because whenever it pulls people into the vortex, they actually get frozen if you use the augment, right? So that's a pretty tough spot for Raiden to be in if Excalibur actually would have access to every single item in his inventory. Alright, so moving on to the next topic here. So I want to talk about the Warframe Elemental. So this is something people have overlooked a lot. I don't hear anyone talking about this. So we're looking at corrosive, we're looking at viral, we're looking at heat, we're looking at electricity. So if Excalibur is actually using any of these elements, imagine the type of damage it could do to Raiden. But then again, this is what I'm going to bring up, the issue of them being too fast. So I don't know if any of their weapons for both parties is even going to matter, just because of the speed these characters are supposed to be moving at, right? So you could actually say, oh, both characters can't even tag each other with their weapons just because they move faster than the supposed weapon. So it's gonna come down to a melee fight where the speed is actually gonna be relative to each other, the striking speed and swing speed. So the next thing I want to bring up here is the strength of Warframes. Yes, Atlas did pulverize the meteor, but I don't know about scaling all Warframes based on that, just because of these 2 points I'm going to bring up here. The first one is certain Warframes have affinity towards certain things, like Atlas definitely is earth and stone. Ember is like fire, Volt is electricity. I believe they will have an easier time dealing with their elements. And also the second point is when Atlas did that, I think it's written somewhere, when Atlas did that, he was with 2 rumblers. So based off those points alone, I don't know if I would say, oh, you can scale all Warframes to that feat. But granted, why I am okay with it is they actually said, okay, we're taking just 1% of that feat in terms of scaling Warframes to that. So I guess that's okay. Still on the topic of Warframe power and scaling, I was a little bit surprised that he used excal. I mean, after all, he is the poster boy of Warframe. But let's say they were to use the strongest Warframe, in my opinion, that would be Nova. So Nova and her manipulation of antimatter, I mean, it was shown in the video, but I'm surprised they didn't use that or replace excal with Nova. Maybe the fight would have been over too quickly. Who knows? I guess we just have to wait for another Deathbattle with Nova in it. But yeah, I think Nova would win a fight against Raiden with 0 difficulty. So that's the end of the video, and I just wanted to give an objective opinion about the fight between Excalibur and Raiden from a Warframe player's point of view. If you have any thoughts or comments, please let me know in the comment section below. Again, if you like the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.